Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Austin here, and I just got back from my vacation last night. Woke up this morning, and I thought, yeah, all right, I guess I'll trade. I kind of fell asleep last night thinking it was kind of TBD, but I did set my alarm. I pulled myself out of bed, sat down, and by that time, I was very excited to give trading a shot. I think that uh, that kind of break I took with was about 8 or 9 days, maybe 10 days, and that's kind of the longest break from trading I've taken in a while. And other than kind of those temporary jobs I had where, for regulatory reasons I couldn't trade, um, you know, that taking breaks from trading is just not something that I that I like to do because I just am about that everyday grind. But and obviously I love trading, love talking about it. And anyway, the point is that once I took that long break, kind of resets you and you realize you kind of gain some perspective. I mean, it's like I don't know. I don't know the way to say it exactly, but when you just watch markets and charts just day in and day out and just obsess over it for a while, and then you take a break and kind of have days full of kind of fun and in the outdoors and doing other things, relaxing, and you just kind of forget about all that stuff. But anyway, we're back. And so I traded this morning and was just ready to be very patient and not do anything too crazy. But I'm very happy, $410 today. And it was really easy. I mean, days like this just it's these are how most days go, or at least I like to think that it is, but I'm in this trade for like 3 minutes, man. And on social media and YouTube and you know, there's everyone's trying to figure out how to make money, but it's just like well, in trading, that is. But for me to just be able to take a trade like this that lasts like 3 minutes, super high confidence, easy, no drawdown. Again, most of my trades aren't like that. I like to hold a little bit longer. But when I took this one, I was looking at Nvidia just right off that open. I mean, this is really poor structure here, the way that this green candle's coming up. I was gonna give it a shot, but to come up even higher and short it even higher. But when this thing just started to turn around, this red candle just engulfed you know, the whole candle before. And then looking at what the market was doing right off the open as well, and just again, you guys know my strategy at this point, which is just look at the pre-market setup first on the market, then on stocks. And once you've decided kind of your bias on where you think the market's going to go, whether it be for the entire day or maybe it's just kind of off that opening rip or whatever. For whatever reason, I thought that the market was going to move lower today. It did move lower. I kind of thought maybe today was a day we were going to move even lower than this, but I turned out to be wrong on that front. The reason being is we've got this whole chop range. I'll just go into this briefly, but shoulder, head, shoulder. This to me looks like a head and shoulders. It's very choppy, very messy, but to me it looks pretty classic. So once I saw that, I was like, all right, I like the melt lower. And a lot of times it is true once you get the shoulder head and then the right shoulder, there is sometimes a moment of pause on this setup. So I think tomorrow could be that kind of flush out day. It's all going to come down to NFP. I almost bought QQQ puts for tomorrow, but I decided against it. It's just, doing it in front of data is always going to be it in the eyes of many it will be seen as just a pure gamble, and I can understand that. But I do like the setup, and I my whole market ideology tends to lean more toward, well, I really just like to look at the technical setup because it really price tells you the entire picture in my opinion, and it really is that simple. It shows you exactly what investors are doing, and in that sense the technicals are tied to the fundamentals and in what investors are doing with their money and how they're hedging with futures, all that. So the point is, I think if I were a betting man just looking at this technical pattern that we probably move lower tomorrow, but and just if you look at the range that we're in here on just the ES is sufficient to just see the chop range that we've been in. I mean, I really took a great time to take a vacation because I can just see the last whole week of trading plus, has it's been like 12 days now, almost 2 weeks of just pure chop sideways, just up down to go nowhere. So I think hopefully tomorrow can NFP can break us out of this range. That would be great as I come back to trading. But anyway, all that was just to say that I thought the market had a good chance of falling today and off the open. And so when I saw that we were starting to move, uh, I jumped in. I jumped in 300 shares and I was in this trade for like 3 or 4 minutes. And yeah, it was that simple. Just looking for that break of the pre-market low. And again, looking at higher time frames on the stock that you're trading too is important. I was watching closely this kind of demand zone here at 143, 143.25 or so, and we were coming into that. So I just wanted exactly $1. I pretty much got my dollar with 300 bucks in front of that kind of demand zone. There was a little moment of hesitation. It didn't react too strongly there. But anyway, so that's what I was looking at on that trade. That's an awful lot of talking to talk about a trade that lasted 4 minutes. I probably just talked longer about the trade than the trade actually lasted, which is, that just shows you in real time all this stuff is, I can think it much faster than I can say it, but really that was what was going through my head. So, uh, Amazon, actually, Baba was the stock I traded next. Um, this one, it's on my watch list. It's pretty high volume last couple of days. You look at that daily chart, what it was able to do. There's some China news, whatever. But again, all I care about is the technicals. Look at this nice basing, just kind of stair step and then just kind of floating up. Baba, again, I've talked about this stock many times. It likes to gap because it's a China name. So, what they do over in China is happening while we're asleep. But not too much of a gap, a little bit of a gap down. I had this line here just before as a, previous past resistance level, and it did react there. And what I immediately noticed was, of course, the market going down and then BABA kind of moving up. And um, I don't look at that as tremendous. I mean, it is relative strength in some sense, but on the other hand, BABA is one of those stocks that it likes to move. It likes to do its own thing, and so in this trade and in this circumstance, I saw that as a positive thing because I was like, well, I don't even really need to worry about what the market's doing. I see the pattern in this stock and I don't need to link it to the market. So I see that as an advantage and and at this point when I was seeing the strength here, I was like, well, I'm not going to buy it right now, but I do think at some point this is going to set up for a move above the high of yesterday. I mean, again, that's just the daily chart, the 30-minute chart, just kind of, again, that classic stair step pattern. Once you get that first 30-minute candle that closes like this, I think the odds of us fading back down before kind of retesting that supply and probably making more progress into that supply that kind of had us limited up here yesterday, I think is unlikely. So was looking for that break of the high. We did get it. My timing was a little off though, and it cost me. You can see I only made $42 on it. So I was a little eager here and classic double top here, but we're hanging out and I just happened to click back to this stock and we were poking up above the highs and I was like, well, if I'm going to buy it, I want to buy it high because I really want to make sure we confirm, a breakout above this blue line here. So sure enough, I bought it at 103.80, like right here at the top of the candle. The structure is a little weak and I can see that too, but this just kind of random move above the zone from this consolidation. It's not as organic as what happened later, which is kind of this failure back down. So again, I had to stop out. So I lost about, that's 60 cents on 300 shares. So that's over 150 bucks that I gave back. But I waited and then I came back to it and I saw it at a perfect time. I just clicked back to it and again, I liked this a lot more. This looks much more steady, just A, B, C, D pattern coming up here. And again, now we're just kind of like value is really being established on this blue line and here we're starting to pull away. So I did kind of rejoin there for 200 shares and got enough of a move on that where I was able to come back to green on the name. If I wanted to, could I have taken 500 on this or 600? Yeah, and if it weren't my very first day back trading, maybe I would have hammered it like that. I had a little bit of a profit cushion, so maybe I should have done that. But what really happened is for a brief second I was in two trades at once because I took that loss on Baba, and it was after that initial loss that I did come over to Amazon and see just how bad this name looked, or maybe I should say how good it looked to the short side. I thought this was going to accelerate a little bit more than it ended up moving down. I mean, it did move down to $83, and I got out like a sucker for 10 cents or so on my 500 shares that I took short. I was at most up like almost like 40 cents on this, which is on 500 shares pretty good, almost a couple $100. But yeah, this started to come back up right here just for a moment, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get out 45 bucks. Like, I'll just take that because as I got out of that, that's when I got back into Baba for that second shot. So I saw those both happening and I was like, you know what? I don't want to be in both of them. So I really what happened was I saw Baba starting to pull away and I was like, all right, here's my shot at redemption. And it was just like a matter of like you've got one trade in one hand and one on the other, and like which one do you have more confidence in? This was the one that I had more confidence in, so I just kind of made the switch, and then took like less size. And I also told myself, look, I can get out here and actually take 45 bucks on the trade. Like, it won't be red, but at the end of the day, I mean, I should have put my stop at break even because if I had done that, I would have stayed in that trade and carried this thing down for 70 cents on 500, which is pretty good. Well, I mean, again, would I have taken profit there? I don't know. I didn't even do the analysis on it at that far because I was out of the trade. But um, in hindsight, yes, I would not have been stopped out. But I don't. More and more now, I think I've been thinking, trailing stops are stupid. It's about your market ideology. It's all about your market ideology. Trailing stops are stupid, and stops at break even are stupid. And in my opinion, stops at any just nominal, or numerical amount is stupid. And stops or and targets at a numerical amount. Like if you want to make $500, like you're like, oh, on this trade I want to make $500. I think, well, that can be fine, but once you're, hmm, all right, I'm gonna backtrack on that a little bit. But trailing stops are dumb. Stops at break even are dumb. Um, and yeah, maybe I'll talk more about that in the future. But um, I know what I wanted to say in my mind. I can't. I just honestly can't be bothered to articulate it right now. All right, so that's it for this recap, and that is $410 on the day, which is great. And yeah, I mean, December, I should probably show December, which worked out really well. Um, and let me pull it up here. December. The finish on December was great. I had one red day the entire month. Of course, I didn't trade the last week because I was away. Actually, no. So this was post Christmas. So I guess I just didn't trade, or did I just not upload my trades? I thought I did trade on the 26th. Anyway, I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I. Oh no, wait. I think I left. Anyway, whatever. I can't. No, no, no. Monday I was around. Maybe, oh, markets were closed on Monday, I think. And then 27th is when I left for my vacation. Anyway, all right, now I'm just rambling. All right, that's it. So hopefully I'll do more recaps in the future, and I appreciate you guys staying tuned. If you enjoy the recaps, if you appreciate them, you think you're helpful, I appreciate you guys hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. And yeah, I post my results every day in the Discord too. So If you want really all the up-to-date stuff, join the Discord, link below, and that's all I got. All right, bye bye.